Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD is hinting at another U romance in season 12, but we're not sold. Chicago PD loves itself a good workplace romance. Like the other entries in the One Chicago franchise, the procedural drama derives a lot of its excitement from seeing people who deeply care about one another brave dangerous, and oftentimes deadly situations. And PD seems to be aiming Cupid's arrow at Kiana Cook, Toya Turner, and Danta Torres, Benjamin Levy Abular. These two are the youngest members of the IU, and they immediately hit it off upon Cook joining the team. Things got complicated, and understandably so, when Torres tried to cover up a romance he'd had with a CI, effectively putting the rest of the team in a bind that they are still trying to get out of, no thanks to Chief Deputy Reed. During a recent interview with NBC, Turner admitted that Cook and Torres were slowly rebuilding their trust and getting increasingly closer. "I feel like Cook and Torres, it's something else," the actress told the outlet. "They work great together, you know they do. I also feel like there's this unspoken thing, like they know secrets about each other." Unspoken thing? Secrets? Not convinced? Well, don't worry, because Turner has even more to say about the blossoming Cook and Torres dynamic with regard to the season 12 final. "I will say there is something in the season final," the actress noted. "You know what I mean? Just a little something, just a little bit. Now in theory, this isn't a bad idea. We've seen Chicago PD romances bring out the best in characters, and we've seen some thrillingly tense episodes when these couples are put to the test. But we are still getting to know Cook and Torres. These two, Cook in particular, has not had a ton of screen time to establish herself as an individual within the IU. She's proven to be a worthy successor to Haley Upton, Tracy Spiridakos, especially when she's given the spotlight and allowed to navigate cases on her own accord. The most recent example of this was the episode Name, Image, Likeness, in which Cook learned the hard way not to trust a CI. Our concern with the Torres romance is that it flattens both characters and makes them reliant on one another instead of bolstering them. Torres is another character who has struggled to get his footing in the show, and he's been around a lot longer. He's been an absolute mess over the last season, as evidenced by the fact that he has an arm sling on and has been battling insomnia as a result of his aforementioned CI mistake. We're all for seeing something blossom between Cook and Torres down the line, but for now, we think they would both be better served by growing as individuals. Romance and high-stakes policing have always gone hand in hand on Chicago PD, and if there's one thing the show loves as much as a foot chase through the South Side, it's a forbidden office romance. From Aaron Lindsay and Jay Halstead to the steamy slow burn between Kim Burgess and Adam Ruzick, Chicago PD has never been shy about blending bullets and butterflies. Now, as season 12 ramps up, it seems the show is teasing yet another intelligence unit, IU, romance. But this time fans aren't exactly swooning. All signs are pointing to a potential spark between newcomer Detective Joe Martinez and none other than Officer Kevin Atwater. The two have shared several loaded glances, a few lingering conversations, and, in one recent scene, a conspicuously unnecessary touch on the arm that sent Twitter into a mini frenzy. Still, despite the writers clearly laying down the groundwork, not everyone is ready to buy into this storyline, and frankly, neither are we. Let's be clear. Atwater deserves a love story. He's been one of the most emotionally layered and morally grounded characters since season 1. His loyalty, integrity, and internal conflicts over policing in Black communities have given Chicago PD some of its most powerful episodes. But when it comes to his romantic life, the show has either dropped the ball or yanked the rug out from under viewers, just as things got interesting. His previous relationships, like with Celeste in season 9, ended not with emotional payoff, but with a kind of narrative shrug. Now, with Joe Martinez entering the picture, it seems the writers are yet again reaching for a romantic subplot, but without doing the emotional homework. Detective Joe Martinez, a transfer from narcotics who made her first appearance mid-season 11, is an enigma. She's sharp, sure, and holds her own in interrogation rooms, but the writers haven't fleshed her out nearly enough to make a romantic pairing with Atwater feel earned. Right now, she feels more like a plot device than a fully realized character, a way to fill the emotional void left by characters like Halstead and Upton, whose departures and breakdowns have reshuffled the IU dynamic. And that's really the issue here. This potential romance feels more like a reaction than an evolution. In the wake of major cast shakeups, it appears the show is scrambling to recreate the emotional tension that once made storylines like Linstead and Burzek so compelling. But forced chemistry and contrived flirtation won't cut it. Viewers need to believe in the pairing, and right now, Atwater and Martinez just don't click on a deeper level. It doesn't help that the show is juggling heavier themes than ever, with Ruzek recovering from being shot, Voight grappling with his aging leadership style, and Burgess navigating the emotional complexities of adopting Michaela. That IU is already full of simmering personal drama. Introducing a new romance, especially one that hasn't been properly built up, runs the risk of pulling focus from far more pressing narrative threads. Some fans argue that the writers are simply planting seeds, that the Atwater-Martinez connection is meant to grow slowly, the way all good One Chicago romances do. Maybe, but even the most successful slow burns started with a spark that felt undeniably real. Think of Halstead and Lindsay's first undercover op, or Burgess and Ruzek's first few flirty exchanges. There was instant emotional texture. With Atwater and Martinez, the beats feel mechanical, like a checklist. Shared trauma? Check. Late night stakeout? Check. Meaningful look? Check. What makes this harder to swallow is that Atwater deserves more than a lukewarm pairing. He's endured loss, betrayal, and racial tension both in and outside the unit, and he's carried those scars with quiet grace. If he's going to fall in love, it should feel seismic. It should challenge him, heal him, or at the very least reveal a new side of him. So far, Jo Martinez doesn't seem poised to do any of those things. If anything, she's been more of a blank slate, a placeholder for a narrative the writers haven't fully figured out yet. That's not to say romance has no place in Chicago PD. It always has and likely always will. But the show's best love stories have always come from the characters' deeper emotional arcs, not the other way around. Burgess and Ruzek's relationship works because we've seen them break and rebuild, co-parent, and almost lose each other, again and again. Their love feels lived in. If the writers want Atwater's next chapter to resonate, they need to give him a story that feels just as authentic. There's still time for this to work. Maybe Jo Martinez will get a meaningful backstory. Maybe we'll see her guard come down, and we'll learn what makes her tick. Maybe she and Atwater will have a moment that genuinely surprises us, the way all great TV couples eventually do. But for now, it's hard not to feel like the show is trying to manufacture emotion without truly earning it. We're not sold. Not yet, anyway. What we are hoping is that Chicago PD remembers the power of patience. If they want viewers to invest in a new IU romance, they need to play the long game. Let the characters breathe. Let their worlds collide organically, and most importantly, let love come second to character, not the other way around. Because in the end, Chicago PD has never needed romance to be compelling, but when it's done right, it becomes unforgettable.